Come on in. Thanks for coming through to Healthy Mentality Live. Kick your feet up, grab your water or your protein shake, and join in the conversation. I'm your host, Charles, also known as RMZ. If you haven't already, please take a moment to smash those like and subscribe buttons. And if you're watching on the mobile app, throw some hype my way. All of it helps the channel to grow. Let's get this channel to 5,000 subscribers with the hurry upness. Also, I've partnered with Fridays, and if you're uninsured, underinsured, or branded GLP-1s just aren't in the budget for you, Fridays has you covered. They offer compounded GLP-1 options at accessible prices with no membership fees, and that includes your lab work, unlimited provider visits, nutrition coaching, dietitian support, and live workout programs. They also provide access to TRT for all you men out there, and powerhouse supplements like Samoralin and NAD+. They even have a meal delivery service for an additional charge. You can use the link in the description of this video and the code RMZ to get a $150 discount on your first order. A reminder, there are 2 GLP-1 meetups coming up. The first one is in Atlanta on June 27th. Then there's one in Dallas on October 17th. Check the link in the description for details and for your tickets. Also, a big shout out to all the channel members out there, the big Zeppers. I thank you for your continued support always. And if you aren't a member, I still thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, and showing up here each Tuesday night to be a part of this community. Now, before we begin, a quick disclaimer. I am not a healthcare professional. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn last night. None of my guests are healthcare professionals. And even if they were, they are not your healthcare professional. Nothing shared here is medical advice. We're simply sharing our own personal experiences and perspectives. Please consult your healthcare team before making any changes to your treatment or your routine. Now, at the end of the show, we'll have a live Q&A, and if you have a question, drop it in the comments at any point and start it with 3Qs so I can filter and easily find it. And if you're a man looking to come on and tell your story, email me at roundmoundzep@gmail.com. You can see it on the screen here. It's also going to be scrolling across the bottom of the screen in the ticker. With that said, please join me in welcoming tonight's guest. Mr. King, welcome,
What's
welcome.
going
How you
on?
doing, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. Thank
Yeah,
you for having me. I'm doing real good.
this has been a long time coming. I've been looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, sir. Me too. Yes, sir.
All right, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah. My name is Lavoy King, aka Zepbound King. That's my Instagram name, but my name is Lavoy King. Um, 38 years old, be 39 in August. Tell this to my coworkers at the job. August 19th, you can't forget that day because that's the day that I was born. So yeah, I'm excited to tell my story, man. I'm so excited. I think it's necessary, just like the others that have came on the show before me. I'm super excited, man, to tell my story. Hopefully, it can
Yeah,
help someone along the way.
yeah, I've been looking forward to it. Like I said,
Mhm.
it's funny because before we came on, I was responding to a comment from a man that found my channel through
Mhm.
I think it was a panel that you and I did with Angela
Oh,
back in the
okay.
day. Yeah, so
Okay, okay.
he mentioned that in his comment, and he was bigging up for being a face that other black men can look to and be inspired as they go on this journey as well. So I just I
Nice.
thought I thought that was cool as we were connecting here tonight. That I was responding to that comment. So
Nice, man.
we started almost well, we started a few months apart. I started in February of 2024, and you started
Mhm.
in May of 2024, right?
Right. That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
And what was going on with you around that time, leading up to you taking your first shot of Zepbound?
Man, what wasn't going on, man? Everything was going on.
Mhm.
Depression, and the depression stemmed from being overweight, not feeling confident in myself, um, not being able to go shopping for anything, um, eating up everything, sugar cravings, severe sleep apnea, you name it, high blood pressure. Um, what is it? What's the name of it? Insulin resistance. Yeah, you name it, man. I was dealing with it because being overweight, and at that time, and you can stop me if I'm jumping ahead of the questions
No, go ahead.
because you know me, I just go, I
Yeah, just let it
flow.
flow.
So okay, so at that time, being my highest weight, 367 pounds, that was a huge shocker to me. To be that heavy. Growing up as a little kid, I was always, what they call big bone, play
Yeah,
football, you kind of thick, but it wasn't to the overweight point, right?
yeah,
That didn't happen really until like my mid 20s, going into my late 20s. That's when it really started kicking in. And you would have thought that, well, this guy, he dance, he's a choreographer, he's constantly working out and, moving around and doing all of this stuff. What's going on? Yeah, you can do all of that. And, but if you're not eating right, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not going to the doctor, getting your daily, I mean, not your daily, but your quarterly or, yearly checkups, you won't know what's going on.
yeah.
And that was one of the things, right?
And even if you are eating right and doing all those things, there's
Mhm.
still possibility because of biology and genetics that the weight's still not going to come off. It's not as simple as calories in and calories out type thing. So I think that's
Absolutely.
important for people to realize that this is a real disease and there's lots of mechanisms and the body is just so complex and what works for you may not work for me. It may not work for someone else. So that plays a big
Absolutely.
role. So were you looking into any other methods of losing weight leading up to Zepbound? I'm sure you were working out and dieting. Were you looking for bariatric surgery or something of that nature?
So I did think about that at one point. I did. I thought about that. Tummy tuck, everything, anything that was out there that we were able to do
Mm,
before Zepbound. Trust me, it crossed my mind. I thought about it. I looked into it. I never really acted upon it, right? But it was always a thought in the back of my head, like
yeah,
if you never get this weight off, like let these be your options.
yeah.
So
And if I remember correctly, well, I don't remember correctly. I can't recall if you were hesitant about starting the medication, or there was some kind of back and forth with the doctor that delayed you getting started.
yes, that was the thing. I was ready to go like full blown, like I don't care what the side effects are, like let's go. I'm ready. Give me the shot. But my doctor, he delayed it. He delayed it, and at that time, I didn't understand why he delayed it. And his reason was, all right, if I put you on Zepbound, what are you going to do, outside of taking this shot? Are you going to start eating right? Are you going to start going to the gym? Because you could take the shot and yeah, you may lose some weight, but what consistency are you going to show in your eating? And that was the thing. And at that time, I didn't understand. Only thing I understood was I wanted to get on Zepbound. I need to get off of this weight,
Yeah,
right? So I did not understand, and I know a lot of people say, he still should have took your thoughts in consideration and stuff, but without fully doing my full research, him being my doctor, and I'm giving him a lot of praise and compliments because he is a great doctor, and I've been with
yeah,
him for years, right? So he did. I like that he took my overall health and wanting me to do my part. So I appreciate him. But at that time, I didn't. So when I lost 10 pounds, so before I started in May of 2024, the month of April, I went to the gym for 30 days and I actually lost 10 pounds alone. And I think there was maybe like fluid buildup and, I drink. So when I say drink a lot, so I drink a lot, not alcohol. I used to, but like sodas and juices and all this stuff. Like I would drink, how they say don't drink your calories,
yeah,
eat it. I drank all my calories and I still ate all my calories.
yeah,
So I did all of that, right? But I made a shift in that and I went to the gym, I worked out, um, and I lost the 10 pounds within that first month. So starting on Zepbound, I was starting at 357. Um, and so when I did that, he was like, "That's what I was looking for. I was looking to see what were you going to do once you get on the shot." He said, "Because you put it in the work, I'm willing to go ahead and put you on this." So I appreciate him for that. I really
yeah.
do.
And
Um,
I'm glad that you appreciate him, but I also I also think that that approach is wrong, um, in the grand scheme of things. Knowing what we know
mhm,
about this medication and the disease of obesity, withholding the
mhm,
medication and treating it as if there's some kind of willpower, discipline issue that's keeping you from losing weight. Yes, we
mhm.
want to correct those behaviors, but we can do those in parallel as well. We can get on medication and make those lifestyle changes. So I'm glad that you feel like he's working with you and that he's a great doctor. But it's just that whole thing about withholding the medication, because there's a lot of that goes
Gotcha.
on with the bariatric process as well. And I think there's some things that can be brought over from the bariatric process, not to put up hurdles, but to educate patients as they go through the process of getting on a GLP-1, how to properly eat, how to properly inject the medication, what the medication
Yeah.
does. Because when I started, there was no information. I knew more about it than the doctor that was prescribing the medication to me at the time, and I didn't know much of anything at the time. Um, but just withhold. I don't like the aspect of withholding medication, but it sounds like he's a good doctor, and I'm glad that you're comfortable
Yeah.
working with him and all of that. And I certainly not trying to bash him. I just
No,
wanted
no,
to
no,
address that.
no.
Yeah,
Oh no. I
yeah,
definitely understand, man. I
yeah,
got it. I
yeah,
definitely understand.
yeah.
So speaking of not knowing any information, so I did not, and so leading up to starting Zepbound, I found your channel on YouTube, and you were the first person, especially a man, a male of color. That's what I
Yeah.
was looking for. to say, all right, what brothers out here on it? I want to
Yeah.
hear their story.
Yeah.
And you were, starting out, you had your videos on YouTube, and I was following you. I was waiting for you to post another video, like
Mhm.
your weekly updates, man. I was so ready because you were that guy and still is that guy, right? That we look to get information, and you keep us updated on a lot of stuff that we may not know, or you give us extra information
Yeah.
that we may already know, right?
Yeah.
Or just kind of elaborate on it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
And that's the
thank
funny
you for
because
that.
I did the same thing. I came to YouTube looking for someone like myself. I think all of us in our community, black men, we want to see someone else doing the thing before we do it because we want to know if it's safe or not. There's
Right.
a lot of, and I think some of that's ingrained into us because of things like the Tuskegee experiment and things of that nature.
Mhm.
But we want to know is it for us? Is it really going to work? And we want to see
Yes,
somebody
sir.
doing it, and we want to know that it's going to help us. So I like when I came on to YouTube searching, I didn't see there were I think two or three men and no black men at all. So now you look around, you got you're on TikTok, you got people on
Ev-
YouTube like Paul, like G's,
yep.
Bound, and heavy on the jumps, and it's a whole host of black men just putting their message out there and sharing their journeys and making it palatable for other men that come up behind them to also tell their story and get the word out. So I really love that. Love that.
Absolutely. Me too,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. All right. So you started in May of 2024. What was your journey like?
Oh man, it was beautiful. I can't even lie to you. It was beautiful. The whole time, starting in the month of May. Um, that was a motivator. I think I dropped 15, 12 or 15 pounds in 1 month. So that was a motivator all by itself.
Mm,
Um, I was already in the gym pre, the shot. So I had been got consistent with being in the gym. Um, Honestly, and this may sound like I'm boasting, but my journey was beautiful, man.
mm,
It was beautiful. Like the lows, what lows were there? Um, I think just, and I can't really call it a low. It was just realizing like, hey, you're coming off of this weight. I was a little bit worried and stressed out of how my body would look, right, for saggy skin and all of that stuff.
yeah,
Um, there was one point mentally where I was like, okay, if I lose all of this weight, like I'm gonna have to get surgery. I'm gonna have to, get my skin and stuff removed and all of that stuff. That was a little depressing moment, but like through the journey itself, um, all the way leading up until I got off of Zepbound.
mm,
Um, I think the ride was great. I think the devastating part is when I got the news from my insurance
yeah,
provider through my job. Yeah, that
yeah,
was devastating. It was
yeah.
like, what you gonna do, player? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
But just
And
kind of getting back to,
go
no,
ahead.
no,
And
go
I was
ahead.
I was say, and I vividly remember the joy that you shared on your journey. The dancing videos, you were getting back into dancing,
Man,
and I look forward to seeing those videos go up every week where you were breaking it down to uh, like Beyonce and others every week, just busting a move, and you can just see the joy in your face of being able to do that again. And feeling comfortable in your skin. So, and I know you were going through it, sharing and not just dancing, but sharing your journey of how much it was helping you. You had things like sleep apnea,
mhm,
hypertension, metabolic disorder, insulin resistance, and things of that nature. And all of those were going into remission or
yes,
were in remission at the time, if I remember correctly. So in the
yes.
f- in the first year, you lost 110 pounds, but you did in that process, as you mentioned, in November, you got a letter from the insurance company saying that you were no longer going to be covered. What was that moment like? You went through this entire process, your journey, you're sharing the joy of your journey, you're getting your health back, you're dancing, and then you get this letter. What goes through your mind?
Fear. Fear gripped me because it's like, okay, you made it this far, and then looking at the prices of how much GLP-1s cost, and I got to be honest with you, the compound route, I did not want to go the compound route
Yeah,
because there were so many different brands out there, and I'm like, okay, I know this person goes with this person goes with this brand. I had some coworkers that was like, oh yeah, I'm with this brand, and da 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 da. Da. I'm like, it's too crazy. And then you heard all the stories, so it's kind of like that fear just grips you. It grips you. It's like, okay, what are you going to do? You've made it this far. You're no longer going to be on Zepbound. You want the real thing. So what are you going to do? So I had a reserve. I had a little
yeah,
reserve in the refrigerator. So that kept me for about a good 2 or 3 months. But those were like lower dosage. So I already
yeah,
knew, those were not going to sustain me. But overall, man, the feeling it just was fear because it's
yeah,
like I was afraid of gaining that weight back. I was afraid of, being that 367-pound guy again. Even with the discipline in the gym, just seeing that I had something to help me with the weight loss, looking at all my test results, my blood work that I was getting back, everything is in remission. You go into you feel good going to the doctor. You're like, I'm ready. Yes, give me a stick in my arm because I
yeah,
want you to draw that blood because I'm ready
yeah,
to get those results back, right?
yeah,
Um, all of that was just like, okay, what are you just gonna do? It was fear, yeah,
yeah.
fear for
And
me.
I remember that moment. I I remember you announcing that you had gotten that letter and you were trying to figure things out.
Mhm.
And then I think it's around December, you just kind of went dark. And Darren and I were talking, and he was asking if I heard from you, and I was asking if he had heard from you, and I had your number because we were in communication and because you were supporting me through my cancer treatment as well. So I remember reaching out to you, and I told Darren, I said, no, he didn't respond back. He just went dark. I don't know. But it can't come to find out that you, for some reason, I don't know why anyone would do this, but switch from an iPhone to an Android. So you went from the blue bubble, so you couldn't get my iMessage, and it got lost out there in the ether.
Man, look here. Let me tell you something. I got so many messages. People like, I was texting you, like, what happened? Then when they saw me text back, they said, "Oh, you didn't trade it, man. You done went to the, you done went to the dark side, man." It's like, how you gonna do that? But yeah, man, I think it did it for about a good 6 months, about a good 6 months.
Yeah,
And I'm still with Android. So
yeah,
I don't know. I went back to iPhone, but then I was like, I kind of like Android. So I'm like, ah. So I went back to Android, and
yeah,
I don't know. I'm thinking about going back to iPhone. I don't know. We don't know.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
we
right
we were we were really worried about you. We didn't know what happened. We assumed
now.
that it would have something to do with you losing coverage, but we didn't know if there was something else going on with your health or God forbid
Yeah,
something
gotcha,
had you up in the hospital or even worse. So we were concerned
gotcha.
about you, but so we were happy to see you make your reemergence on
Mm.
on Instagram a few months back. So you, if I remember correctly, you kind of titrated down, like you mentioned, you had lower doses after you got that notification from your insurance company,
Mm.
and you kind of titrated down all the way until to May till you took your final shot. When you took that final shot, what goes through your head at that point? This is it.
Yeah. So, um, I'm gonna answer that. Let me go back to my disappearance, right?
Yeah,
So, and I think it's okay for me to share that, right? So it was a depression. It
yeah,
was a depression. You get into a depression to where it's like, man, the thing that I enjoyed getting on there almost every week, sharing my story, right? Or just keeping you all updated. It's like, all right, what update am I going to give now? Um, thinking back on it now, I should have continued to share, even in the good, even in the bad
yeah,
moments. And to me, those were bad moments, right? Because I'm feeling it. I'm depressed, right?
yeah,
Why not share that? It can't always be good.
yeah,
So thinking back now, I should have shared those moments, right? And Who knows, right? That support is there. You were supporting me, Darren was supporting me. Um, I have a whole lot of other people, family and friends that was following my journey too, you know, um, that was supporting me. So who's to say, right?
Yeah.
I could have
Yeah.
bounced back from that, and I wouldn't have gotten back to where I am now. But so taking my last shot, right, in the month of May, um, same thing, man. Depression,
Yeah.
just depression, just feeling like there's no hope, feeling like, how are you going to do this? And I did good for about a month or so. I took a trip to Atlanta and I was like, all right, I'm still good. I lost the weight. I gained a few pounds back, right? Because I titrated down. Went to Atlanta and had a little vacation. And yeah, man, start eating cookies, chips, start eating fried chicken from Publix. What else? That was my splurge moment, right? That was my splurge moment. And I was like, when I get back, I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna stay in the gym. And got back, everything just went downhill.
Yeah.
Got a new position. I got a supervisor position for my job, and everything started out great. And then until everything wasn't great with my job. So I stopped going to the gym. Um, I started eating crazy because I was stressed out from the job,
Yeah.
stressed out from gaining the weight. So everything just kind of piled on me. And then I was dealing with a bunch of issues, being in a new department, a change of leadership, change of basically the whole team, having to work through processes and stuff that I don't even know, but I have to learn this stuff.
Yeah.
So gym just went, it's like, what gym? You know, I got consumed. So I took that stress that I was feeling with, not being able to take Zepbound to, I put it all into my work.
Yeah.
Everything was in my work. Everything revolved around my job. Everything was, working 12 hours, 13-hour shifts, like literally. So I put all of my stress from that into my job. And so everything just consumed me all at one time. So all of 2025, that was literally my life up until about maybe 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
That was literally my life. It's work, 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 work. Everything was work. It's like, okay, forget my weight, forget this. I need to fix job. Forget about Lavoy. Forget about what Lavoy's going through. You need to focus on making this job better. So yeah, so that's where I was that whole time
Yeah.
until recently, like 2 months ago.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's normal for us to push our own needs and concerns to the back, to make sure the work is done and our family is taken care of and all of that, and we suffer for it in silence a lot of times, and um, that's why we're here, to support each other.
Yeah,
So we don't have to suffer in silence. So, we can talk to each other, or we can listen to others as they share their experiences, like I've been doing, and like you're doing right now, to help others out along the way. So, really appreciate you being here to tell your story tonight. Um,
yes, sir.
so, at any time, did you? I know you weren't too keen on going the compound route, but was there a point post that last shot where you start waffling a little more about it and considering it because of what you were experiencing in your real life, the long work hours, the change, the reverting back to the old eating habits and not going to the gym, and you're saying, man, I got to do something, and that the medication works if you can't get the branded, but maybe this compound will work because you see others having success on it. How much did you go back and forth with that?
I went backwards and forwards a few times. I'm gonna tell you what really sold me though. What really sold me was, um, and I'm not saying this because I'm interviewing with you, but I watched your story. I knew that you had joined. You were taking compound.
Hmm.
And then taking into consideration a few of the people at the job. I have a director that's there, to two directors that's on it, and then I have two managers that's on it, and they've been consistent. They never was on Zepbound, but they
Yeah.
were on the compound the entire time. And, they were telling me their results and, the blood work. That's like, look, man, it was like we wouldn't lie to you. It was almost like an intervention, right? I
Yeah.
kind of went one by one though. They were like, we wouldn't lie to you, compound is great. Go through this compound. This is what we're all on. Our blood work is good. We've seen your videos. You're worried about this, worried about that. Don't be worried.
Yeah.
Just give it a try. And up until 2 months ago is when I finally gave it a try. Um, I still kind of thought on it a little bit. It wasn't like immediately, but I would say like between like a 2 month time span between having that conversation with them is what
Was
made me say, all right,
was there a cost consideration as well? Because I believe at that time it was still like
oh,
350, $400 for TERS around that
yes,
time. So
yes, yes, yes. I was like, man, I think it was 350 at that
yeah,
time. Yeah, it was 350.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
So
so I was like,
that'd be a big price shot going from having it covered to having to pay 350 out of pocket
yeah,
still. Yeah.
yeah. I literally went from paying from $25 in 2024. I paid $25 for like almost 6 months straight, and then after the first 6 months, it went to 80, 85.
Mm, yeah.
So jumping from all the way from 25, 85 to 350, I couldn't even fathom that, man. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
350?
Yeah.
Only for a month?
Yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine.
So I'm like, ah,
So during this period from May through to February of 2026, how much weight did you gain back?
man. I went from 247. That was my lowest, 247, all the way to I got up to 310. 310 again.
Mhm. Yeah, 310.
Yep,
And
310.
did you see reversal in your health markers that you saw improvement on during your
I
Zepbound
did.
journey?
I did. The sleep apnea came back, and man, walls vibrating. Because let me tell you something, walls vibrating. Um, the sluggishness, the you know, insulin resistant numbers, the is it triglycerides? I
Yeah.
think I said that right. Yeah, all of that spiked. Everything spiked back up. Everything had looked as if like nothing had ever happened. Like I had never lost the weight. I had never, went into remission of anything.
Yeah.
So that was a depressing moment, right?
Yeah.
So you go back to a reality that you thought you would never see again.
Yeah.
So, but I think at that point in time, it was just kind of like, hey, you're here, deal with it, put in the work again, make it happen. And so going back, so getting up to 310, now to 290. So
Yeah.
that's 20 pounds, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's great.
that's rewarding all by itself.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. So I will say that. Feels
Yeah.
good.
And there's a lot of people that don't know how brutal sleep apnea is. It's
Oh yeah.
even if you're managing it with a CPAP machine, it's still I I c- I don't remember having a real decent night of sleep in 20 plus years on a CPAP machine. Either
Yeah.
you didn't have that. I don't know if you had a CPAP machine or not, but to treat your sleep apnea. But even with it, even if you had the CPAP on, there always wasn't a great seal. So the air will leak out and you still stop breathing, or it's uncomfortable and you can't turn the way you want to turn. So you're still not getting the sleep that you need. So you're drowsy during the day, fatigued during the day, and it keeps the cycle going where your cortisol levels are up and you're gaining weight, and there's all these
Yeah.
outcomes that can happen from sleep apnea, from cardiovascular risk and all of that. So just that in itself, getting that back after having it pretty much in remission, I can imagine what life was like for you.
Oh yeah, man, it was crazy, and I'm so glad you brought up the CPAP machine. I don't think I've ever shared this on any one of my videos, but the same week that I got approved for CPAP machine, because I was going in that direction, I got approved. Everything, insurance approved it. I think it was a Thursday or Friday. I was supposed to go
Mm.
pick it up. It was the same week that my doctor approved me for Zepbound, and
Oh,
So I called my insurance company and told them I don't need the CPAP machine because I wanted to try this. And they were like, no, we think you still should get it. I was like, no, I'm okay, you know.
Yeah.
And literally, like, I think it was I was about to yell my brother name, but he's in the room because he told me, like, the moment at the same, I think it was the same night, the same day that I took the Zepbound shot, that same night, silence. He
Yeah.
had to check on me because he thought, like, something was wrong, but I
Yeah.
wasn't snoring.
Yeah.
I was asleep
Yeah.
because he's used to hearing like the bear sound, like the grizzly bear in there, like vibrating walls, and and kind of waking my own self up because I, end up choking or stop breathing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely crucial. Sleep apnea it's major.
Yeah.
It's major, and like you said earlier, it caused a host, a list of so much other things that transpire with your body that a lot of people are not familiar with. So
Even testosterone dropping. I'm finding that out now.
yeah, yeah,
It's it's a brutal condition. I remember
yeah.
I was so scared of it because I remember Reggie White was my childhood hero playing
Mhm.
defensive end. I remember he died from sleep apnea, and that shook me to my core. And I remember my dad was driving home from work and flipped his car because he fell asleep from lack of sleep during sleep
Oh
apnea.
man.
Thankfully, he walked away and no one was hurt. But um, that that condition is just horrible. Even if you're managing it, it still bites you in the ass.
Oh
Um,
yeah, most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Most definitely. I think now, even with because of dealing with that for so long, like the sleep pattern now, I get sleep, right? So when I go to sleep, even before it's that bad, I'll get my sleep for like 5.5 hours, maybe 6 hours, like
mhm,
max. Most people are like, oh, that's all you sleep? Yeah.
yeah,
Because when you're getting woken up from, catching your own self snoring or choking or something like that, like it
yeah,
kind of shakes your body in years and years and years of doing that. um it kind of puts your body in a state like,
yeah,
all right, 5 hours good, now get up. So, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So
yeah. Yep, definitely. And yeah, I can still sleep, 6 or 7 hours now, but I
mm,
feel better, much better, much more because I'm getting a deeper, more restful sleep now than I ever did
yes,
during with that CPAP machine. All right, so
yeah.
February of 2026, you start back up. You're on compound. Did you start at the lowest dose when you get back on it?
So they started me out at 7.5
Oh,
because they asked me, they was like, were you on it previously? I was like, yeah. And it's like, how long were you off of it? And I was like, basically a whole year. And they were like, all right, I think we should start at 7.5. We're not going to do a 2.5 or a 5. We're going to start at 7.5. It's like, are you okay with that? I was like, yeah, let's give it a try. And it worked for about 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, um, and like it wore off just like that. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to
okay.
go up.
I was
So
surprised
I
that
went up.
surprised that they started you so high. Because usually when you're off it that long, they restart you all the way from the bottom.
They did
Um, yeah,
7.5. Yeah,
yeah,
they started me at 7.5, man, and it worked for those 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, I felt like the food suppression wasn't there and all of that stuff. Like in my head, I'm like, all right, is this the right compound that I'm supposed to be on? Because are they not mixing whatever ingredients, correctly, whatever they do? I don't know how they do it, right? Um, but however they do it, like, is it enough? Or are they doing it right? So I'm like, maybe I'm going to the wrong place. Maybe I need to try another place.
yeah.
It's like, okay, no, I'm not going to do that. So they took me up to 10, and it worked. It's been working.
Oh, so that's good. You're on 10 now, and you're starting to see
Yep.
some improvement. Yeah, I wonder if them starting you at 7.5 has something to do with that stall. 'Cause I know a lot of people that during the shortages were having to jump up, and it seems that they have had issues with stalling out and because they didn't go
Mm.
through the progression. I know Dave Knapp talks about it a lot. 'Cause I know he went off of it for a while and um, for Lent and stuff. And
Okay.
so he started back over at the lowest dose. I don't know how he's doing now, but I know there's a lot of people that have had that situation during the shortages where they couldn't get their next dose, so they had to jump up to a much higher dose. And you hear them
Oh
talk about it
wow.
now that they regret that because they wonder what would have happened if they gone through the progression like it was meant to happen. So, but
That's interesting.
I'm glad to hear that 10 kind of shook loose for you. So that sounds good.
Oh yeah, that's that big boy 10.
Yeah, Mac 10, yeah, Mac 10.
Mac
Yeah,
10. Mac 10.
yeah. All right, so you're you're back on you're back on social media. You haven't been as active the last month or so as you were in February. How are things going with you mentally and whatnot?
So things are going really good. Mentally, I'm good. I feel good. I see the weight coming off. I'm back on, the compound. I mean, I'm on compound. So that's a motivator by itself. But I've gotten into balloon decorating, so
Yeah,
that has taken up a lot of time. So the content that I would put into, making videos and just giving an update, I've been really, and I got a new position too. So I'm in another position. So I'm still supervising, but I'm not managing people. I'm managing banks. I got three
mm,
banks for the company that we have. So I'm managing those banks, so which is a stress
yeah,
relief. But
yeah,
um,
mhm,
I've gotten into my balloon decorating. It's very therapeutic for me,
yeah.
and I never would have thought that I would have gotten into balloon decorating.
And I must say some great designs. I've been seeing some
Oh,
of your
thank you,
posts,
man.
man. The one that you did, I don't know if it was a Mother's Day or what. The one you
Oh,
posted like,
Saturday,
yeah,
yeah,
Saturday, yeah.
yeah,
That one was
a
really
baby
nice.
shower.
Yeah, yeah, that
I
was really
appreciate
nice.
that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. No,
So
the clients are definitely coming in, man. So I'm gonna be booked for the rest of this month and for the month of June. So.
that's good. Now, have you picked up dancing again?
So about that,
Mhm.
I haven't, but it's funny that you even mentioned that because we were talking about it at the job. So my new team, they're wanting to get together every other weekend, and they want me to start teaching classes and stuff. They're like, we'll pay you to teach, right? You pick the studio, we'll even pay for the studio rental. We just want to learn how to dance. So um, they were like, yeah, we need you to teach us. So I think that alone, it don't have to be nothing super, crazy. I'm not trying to prepare for a tour, but I think that's like additional exercise or something like that to
Yeah,
help me get back in the groove
yeah,
and get these bones moving again.
yeah. That's nice. No,
That
that
bones moving again.
you got to make some content out of that too.
Man, let me tell you something. It felt so good just being able to move again,
Yeah,
man. In 2024, man, I felt so young. I felt like I was a teenager moving and jumping and doing all those the choreography. It just felt really, really good, man. Really good. I'm gonna get back there though. I'm gonna get
yeah.
back there.
Nice. Now, how have you, with all that's going on in your life, with work and your side business and all of that, have you found time to get back into the gym?
Walking, yes.
Yeah.
Walking, power walking. I've been doing that the 5 miles. But as far as like going into the gym, doing the weights like I was doing too, and doing hit cardio and all of that, I haven't made my way back there yet. It's definitely been weighing on my brain. It's been
Yeah.
weighing on my brain, so I got to make time. I have time now. Honestly, I can't say that I don't have time. I have time now. I just have to split my time, my free time wisely to make sure that I'm actually taking care of me still and getting that gym time in. So,
Yeah. And how's the food noise now? I imagine it was wild while you were off of it. So how is it now?
man, look at here, man. It's good. It's good. So my shot day, it was on a Friday on Zepbound, so I moved it to a Sunday. So now on Sundays, it actually helped me throughout the week. Um, so I do fasted. I do fasted. What do you call it? I'm about to say fasted cardio, not fasted cardio. I fast in the morning. So
Mm.
most of the times, instead of eating breakfast, I'll eat lunch. I'll start my first meal at lunchtime, which could be 12:30, 12, one of those times.
Yeah. So
So
kind of like intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go. I knew it was something fast. So intermittent
yeah,
fasting.
yeah,
So yeah, I do that, and that's been very, very helpful. Towards the end of the week, like Fridays, Saturdays, like those sweet cravings kind of come in. But I've recognized it more and more. Like if I feel those cravings coming on, I'll either drink some coffee or I'll get like like a Reese's cup or something like that. I'll
yeah,
eat that and then kind of curve it a little bit. And then tangerines, those little cuties, man, I love those things.
yeah.
I love those things. If I
My wife
can't get
too.
anything sweet, man, I love those. I can sit there and eat like 5 or 6 of them back to back. But it helps though. It
Yeah,
helps. It helps.
yeah.
So
I'm
yeah.
finding even now, finding now that when I get those sugar cravings, protein, some solid protein helps me out and
Mm,
fights. And I'm just, over 2 years in now, and I'm finding that out more and more often because I'm because my food noise isn't as low or turned off as it was, early on in my journey, especially the first, I don't know, 9 to 10 months of my journey where it was just non-existent, but it's come back, not like it was, but it's
mm,
noticeable, especially, as I get closer to the end of the week and whatnot. And there's always something at work where someone's bringing in some donuts or some cookies or something,
mm.
uh, candy dish. I don't keep a candy dish in my office because I would just eat that thing all day long. But I'm finding more and more that the more protein that I eat during the day, solid protein instead of drinking it, the more satiated and the more silent the noise goes for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking about the sweet. So it might be something for you to look into as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most definitely will, man. Most definitely will.
Yeah.
I gotta say something real quick. Jean Henri,
Yeah.
I gotta give him I gotta shout him out
Yeah.
because he was another person, man. He checked on me too. He made sure he was like, "Hey, I'm just checking in on you, whether you respond or not. I'm checking in on you, right? I just want to make sure you're good." So I definitely want to shout him out too. He
Yeah.
was definitely one of the ones checking
Yeah.
in on me.
He
So I
may be on
appreciate
here
it,
tonight.
man.
He's been showing up the last few weeks. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. I
Okay,
haven't seen him, but yeah,
okay,
great guy, great guy,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Um, so what's next for you? Do you have a goal weight that you're trying to get to? Are you just trying to get back to 247 first and then go from there, or what are you looking forward
Yeah.
to?
So my end goal, of course, is 220. That's the end goal. Even on my first round, right, of this, it was always 220. And I always tell everybody, I'm not made to be skinny. I don't want to be skinny. I'm a thick. I'm a Southern guy. I'm big bone. What they say in the South. I'm big bone. So um, 220 has always been the goal, but the starting point is to, of course, get to 247 first.
Yeah,
Once I get to 247, then make my way to 220. Um, a lot of people have told me, you may want to get to like 210, 215 because if you start going into remission, weaning off of the shot, you may gain a few pounds. It's still gonna be 220. I wanted
yeah,
220.
yeah,
If I lose more, thankful, right? But the
yeah,
goal is 220. So yeah, that's the goal, number wise, and the goal is, of course, is to reverse everything again,
yeah,
and learn from what I didn't do the first go round, right? Improve it, and um, if somehow the moment come up again to where even with compound I have to get off of it,
yeah,
find other ways, right? And lean on my support that I do have because I have a lot of support. Just lean
yeah,
on that support and stay consistent with the habits
yeah,
because that's a big part of it too. Keeping consistent with the habits and um, just not feeling down, on myself and making sure I make those important decisions to just stay healthy overall. But yeah, so that's the goal, man.
yeah.
220, compound
Nice.
all the way, compound all the way.
And how are your health markers trending? Are they going back?
Um, So I have an appointment set up in the next 2 weeks. So I'll get that checked out, and that'll be my first step of getting my numbers since being on compound.
Yeah. Now, have you mentioned to your primary that you're on compound? Yeah.
I did,
Yeah.
and he's for it. He's
Okay.
he's for it. He's happy for me. He's ready to see those numbers though. He's
Okay.
ready. He want to see the numbers. Because even with him, he was like, dude, every time you were coming in here, he was like, you were just so full of joy. He's like, you're
Yeah.
still full of joy, but he's like, you can just see it. You were radiating with it. You was excited to get your numbers. So um, he's excited to see that moment
Yeah.
for me again. So
Yeah. Nice. All right. We got a few before and afters here.
yeah, okay. Ooh,
I don't know. Uh, all right. So, do you remember what your weight was here? Was this 357?
that was 357 right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
357.
Yeah.
Man, yeah,
Yeah.
357. That's depression. That's not confident, not knowing who I am, just want to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, Lavoy's like me. I asked for some more pictures, but he didn't have a lot because we was hiding from the camera. So he
Yes,
sent what he
sir.
could. So
Yes, sir.
and you see the difference.
Confident.
You can see the
Boy, that's
difference.
confidence right there, right
Look at that.
there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You can see the difference.
Yeah. I was confident right there, man. Ooh, that's 3 months pregnant right there, man. That guy, that guy was big, man.
And then look at the difference. You can you can
Ooh,
see. And this is
man.
290,
No, so this is yes. No, this is 247. I'm sorry,
247. Okay.
247. 247.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can
Ooh,
definitely see the difference.
yeah.
Yeah.
247, man. Yeah, man. That's a big difference. Whew. Hey, on a journey back there though.
Yeah.
On a journey, on the way back. On the way back, man.
All right. Closing
So
question for me. Chat, we're getting ready to come to y'all. So put some questions in the chat for Lavoy. If if another man is watching this right now and he's on the fence, or maybe he's had the same experience that you had where he's been on the medication and lost courage, what advice would you give him?
pick back up and start again.
Yeah.
Pick back up and start again. Don't let your mind be the enemy that robs you. Right? Get back and start again. Don't let you'll say, all right, let me think about it. That's a day gone.
Yeah.
Let me keep thinking about it. That's another day gone. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into over half of a year, and then next thing you know, you're at a whole year. That's a lot of time wasted. Invest in your health. Invest in your health. That's the biggest investment that you can invest in. Especially for those who have kids, who have a family, who wants to be around to see the great things transpire. Invest in your health. It is worth it. It's so worth it. Um, don't lose time. Yeah, pick it back up again. Start again. Um, start out with walking. If you fell off on your exercise, start with walking. Just walk. You set that pace, and you know what that looks like for you. Yeah. So
Love it. Love it. All right. So if you want to follow Lavoy, I have his Instagram account um, linked in the description of this video. So please give him a follow. Follow his journey. Hopefully he'll start posting more about his journey. But if not, you can follow his balloon designs, which are also great. But we want to encourage him to keep pushing and getting back to that 247, and then pushing back that. So pushing past that, I should say. So
let's
we're going to be
go.
cheering you on. So give us some material to cheer to, and pick, and also pick you up when you stumble, because there inevitably there'll be some reason for one of us to stumble or not. But if we're there for each other, to cheer each other on, and push each other forward, we can do it. And that's what this community is great about. um, other people just cheering each other on. So
Absolutely.
get that content up so we can cheer you on.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Appreciate that, man.
All right, so we gonna hit the questions here from the
Okay.
from the gallery. See what we got. Oops. I guess I need to hit filter in the right spot. First, first question is for our guy Darian. Lavoy,
What's up, Darren?
you are building your circle to surround you when you. Oh, so Lavoy, are you building your circle to surround you when the journey gets tough or you need support?
It's a great question. So I do have my immediate family. You know, they're always there. They're pushing me. They're motivating me. My brother, who's my best friend, and then I have my other best friend. So yeah, so those two they encourage me. They're gonna be 100 with me, right? They're not gonna, just pat me on the back and be like, oh, it's gonna get better. No, get up, do the work. So um, that kind of support, yes, they're there. They're gonna pick me up when I'm down. They're not gonna beat me while I'm down, right? But they are gonna give me love and also give me that tough love and let me know, hey, you need to pick it back up and make it happen, right? And just moments that I just need to vent. I just need to let it out. They're there to listen. And I'll even say with you all, especially you, Darren, right? There, I think I kind of vented to you a little bit, through some messages, and you were there to pick me right up. So I definitely appreciate that. So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you,
you're definitely
Darian.
part of that circle.
Next up is from Twan, my sister Twan. How much weight did you gain during the break?
Ooh. So from 247 all the way up to 310. So that's 107 pounds? No, I think almost 107 pounds. Don't
63.
quote me on the math. 63. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I'm thinking about 100. Look,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the weight that I lost. Wait.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so
you
63.
lost 110 and then gained 63 back.
Yeah,
And now you're down another 20.
and down another 20.
Yeah.
So we almost there. We almost there.
Thank you, Twan. All right, next question. BB, did your symptoms get worse once you were off?
I won't say worse. I just reverted back to the same, the old. Well, they did because they were no longer in remission, right? So I went back to the same thing. Triglycer, the blood count, everything was high. Triglycerides, sleep apnea, everything had went right back to as if nothing had ever transpired. Nothing was in remission. Um, Everything, the blood work just looked crazy. Numbers were not good. So, and I think I could add to that, right? To say,
Yeah.
my habits of eating and everything went back too. So I'll say that.
Yeah. All right, my guy Paul. What's the biggest thing you notice about your body or your health when you were off Zep?
Uh, Sluggishness, like being sluggish, waking up in the morning, you can definitely feel the sluggish when you wake up, versus being on Zep. You have a burst of energy. You're not going to bed stuffed. Um, you know, when I was on Zep, going to bed from drinking like water or something like that, versus not being on Zep, going to bed drinking like Kool Aid. Well, not Kool Aid, but juice. To me, it's the same, right? Because it's full of sugar.
Yeah.
Juice and snacking on potato chips and cakes, and then going to bed and waking up and you feel sluggish. Versus on Zep, those cravings for sweetness, it was there, but it wasn't that bad to where if I had something sweet, it'd be like a little Hershey bar, something like that. And I'll be content, drink some water, be good, go to sleep, wake up, jump up with energy. But I was also working out. I was running 5 miles 3 to 4 times out of the week. I was running doing 5K, then went to 5 miles. Like all of that stuff, it played a huge effect. And so my body was conditioned. I had conditioned my body to be, in a good position. And so going to sleep, waking up, and all of that stuff, it was great. It was great. So I noticed a whole change. It's like if you're watching somebody's life and you're watching it from the bad to the good, and then you just take the video, rewind it, and go back to the beginning. That's basically how it was.
Did you notice the inflammation come back to your body?
Yes, definitely in my
Mm.
feet, big time. My feet and in my hands,
What about your joints? Your overall joints make it
my
hard to move.
knees.
Yeah.
Woohoo, my knees, man, big time, big time. My knees.
All right, we got a super chat from
Let's
My
go.
girl Mel B.
Let's go.
She says, "Hey Charles, Darium in chat. Lavoy, nice to meet you. Happy to hear about your return to GLP-1s. Have you had a hormone panel and are you considering treatment?"
Hmm, great
Great question.
question. I have not had a hormone panel, um, which I need to make that happen. I need to make that happen. So that is something I am going to look into getting. Are you considering treatment? Yeah, I most surely will.
One thing that I've been finding out the last few months is how critical testosterone and estrogen are for both male and females. I mean, the ratios are different, but um, I was listening to a Dr. Abraham Molenthaler and Mo
Mhm.
Carrot, who say that the single most important test that a man could get for blood work is a testosterone test because it
Wow.
tells you everything you need to know about that man's health, his obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular health, bone health, libido, depression. Everything is tied to what those numbers say on your testosterone panel. So I would encourage every
Wow.
man. I mean they say every man should get tested at the age of 40 to find out what their numbers are. And as important as I'm finding out it is, I'm surprised it is not as basic of a lab request as a CBC. It should be a part of your
Yeah,
CBC. How important it is.
I agree.
All right,
Thanks, Mel B.
Twan is back. How long did it take to drop the 20 pounds on compound?
2 months. 2 months. So 10 pounds per month.
And Shani wants to know, have you been rechecked for sleep apnea? I'm down over 100 pounds and still have it.
Mhm.
I don't snore bad anymore, but still stop breathing. So it's good till still be checked.
That is something that I am looking into. Again, I have not been rechecked, but I definitely need to get a test done again. Most definitely.
Thank you, Shani. And Darian wants to know, when is your blood work appointment and you doing the video, right? 'Cause we want to see the video, right?
Yeah. So I tell you what, I will. I'm gonna make a video. I will. I will. I'll make a video. And the appointment is next month, so I think it's um, the first week of June. No, actually, it's 2 weeks. I don't have my other phone. Look, and I was about to click off. It's in actually 2 weeks. I'm sorry. It's in 2 weeks. So whatever the Thursday is in the next 2 weeks, that's what it is. It's 2 weeks away.
All right, so we'll be expecting the video. Me and Darian will be looking for
Hold me to it because I'm gonna
it.
make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. And it's gonna be a good one too. It's gonna be a good
All right, DG wants to know, what does your ideal support system look like on this journey?
one. My support system looks like honesty because I can tend to fake my own self out. What I mean by that is, pretend like everything is okay when it's really not. I need honesty around me. My support system is going to say, "Hey, we hear what you're saying, but this is what we're seeing," right? Um, and I think that comes with the people around me knowing me, knowing that I'm a type of person to where, you know, I always want to see the best in others, but it's hard for me to put that best, to bring out the best in me, for me to do that for myself. So that's the support system I need: honesty, and um, just being there. Yeah.
All right. And Mickey Frost wants to know, did you have diabetes when you started?
Good question. Pre-diabetic, and I forgot to kind of mention this earlier. So diabetes run on my dad's side of the family, from my grandmother, my dad, my uncles. So it definitely run on my dad's side of the family, and so I was at the borderline. So being pre-diabetic, I was definitely there on that borderline.
All right. And another question from DG. What, if anything, do you plan to do differently this time around?
Hmm, great question. Um, consistency, and I think that's the biggest thing for me right now, consistency. Because when things, when the bad came, thinking about it now, I felt like I just ran, right? I ran, I hid, when I should have stayed consistent, at least with my working out, at least with my great eating habits, to help give me that support. Though I may have gained weight back, it may not have been that bad because I would have remained consistent with all the routines that I had. So that's one of the biggest things, consistency, remaining consistent. I know I did it before. I know you asked for something different. Um, that's the only thing that I can think of right now. Just remaining consistent and talking about it. Um, Voicing how I feel, right? I think that those videos gave me an outlet, right? I had the support of everyone, right? And just getting that support that I knew I needed outside of, you know, my internal group, right? Because all of you all made a difference when it came to me making those videos, especially those who are on the journey, right?
Yeah.
Those who are on the journey can speak to it a little bit better. So remaining consistent with that and reaching out. So that's definitely something I would do different. Starting with the video of my blood work.
All right. Nancy says, you mentioned the men you work with encouraging you, suggestions on a kind, tactful way to approach the issue with others, or if we even should approach it.
That's a great question. You work with encouraging you, suggesting on a kind. I'm sorry, I'm just rereading it again. Suggestions on a kind, tactful way to approach the issue with others. Um, or if we even should approach it. Can you break that down for me a little bit?
She's asking how we should encourage others. What's the best approach to
Mm,
do it, or if we should do it at all? Because sometimes people will say stuff that they think is motivating, but really isn't.
mm, think, how can I explain this? So I think knowing people, right? Knowing who you're talking to, knowing the audience that you're trying to encourage, um, just I'm trying to break it down how I'm thinking it. Knowing others, knowing what they're wanting. So knowing someone's goals or knowing someone's overall outcome of what they're wanting. So taking this, right, being on the GLP-1, if this is something that someone's wanting to do, hear them out, let them tell their why, right? And I think that's the first approach to it, to say, hey, because that's what happened to me, right? Anyone on the job who was encouraging me, I told them my why. I told them, my medical history. I told them all of this stuff. And, they saw the before, right? When I was on it. So it's kind of like, you did it before. Let's continue, right? Get on the compound, do this, do that. So hopefully I'm answering your question. Hopefully I'm answering it the correct way. Um, yeah.
I just saw a question that didn't have a Q on it. See if I can find it again. Oh, there it goes. Jay Clark wants to know, what company are you with for Compound?
So it's telehealth, and the pharmacy that I go through is Spring Creek
The name of the company is called Telehealth.
Telehealth.
Oh,
They're
nice.
based in Tyler. I know, right? Isn't it
Mhm,
crazy?
mhm.
Telehealth, and it's in Tyler, Texas. So it's kind of everything is done
Yeah.
um, over the phone, and they send the pharmacy to Spring Creek
There's another question
Pharmacy.
asking what state you're in. I don't know
Okay,
if you want to answer that or not, but I'll leave that up to you.
it's Texas.
Uh, Texas.
Texas, DF Dub.
And I don't see any more questions.
I
I think
appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for those questions. I appreciate it.
I think we got through them all. I didn't see any others that didn't have the Q in front of it. So I think we got them all.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah. I see G's just hopped in. Hey, G's.
What's going on?
All right. So again, my friend, I appreciate you jumping on tonight. I know Darian and I both have been looking forward to the discussion. He was hyped when he saw your name go across the bottom of the screen in the ticker a few weeks ago. So,
Let's
uh,
go.
yeah, we were happy to get you here tonight. And we want to
I
encourage
appreciate you so much, man.
you to stay engaged with us, even if you're not posting. Just stay engaged with us so we can cheer you on. Darian and I will hit you up, see how you're doing, and we'll support you along the way. We want to get you hopefully to your goals and beyond, and motivate you to keep going, whether or not you continue to have access to Compound, which hopefully you don't lose that access, and you can keep pushing forward and get your health back to where it was and beyond where it was when you were on your initial journey. So if you want to follow Lavoy, again, his Instagram is tagged in the description of this video. Please give him a follow if you're on Instagram. Lavoy. Oh, I just got a question came in
Okay.
from Wood Kirky. Uh, do you guys find it interesting that a lot of our PCPs want to hurry us off the medication after years of not being able to help us?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so my I have to say my doctor is supportive. He's supportive, but I hear a lot of others say that their PCPs are not supportive and they're still wanting them to not take it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy we would still hear that nowadays.
I've been noticing a lot of people say that the doctors want to get them off after they hit their goal, which I find
Yep.
really, really interesting, especially with the knowledge of what we know, what happens after people get off these medications, even if they continue to do everything the right way, eat the right way, continue to work out, that regulation that the medication provides goes away. So people start seeing the weight come back on, even if they continue to have that lifestyle change. So I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting that they want to rush people off. It's like, um, I've even heard some people say that some of their doctors want to give them off the medication after, these are diabetics. Once they get to, you
What?
know, to a low A1C, they want to get them off the medication, which I find really, really interesting.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That is crazy.
And shout out to Vanity joining as a member. Appreciate you. I really do.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So with that, we are going to wrap it up. I see Jen and Paul and have hopped in. Paul's been here, of course, and Vanity, of course, hopped in and got a membership. Appreciate you again. And
Let's
Nancy,
go.
Nancy says that you did answer her question perfectly. know your audience. So,
There we go.
yeah. All right. With that, we're going to wrap it up and leave you with these few parting words as reminders to go out there and get these tests. As I close, I want to leave you with 3 important reminders. First up, prostate cancer screening. Screening no longer requires a digital rectal exam for those of you that are scared of that. It's a simple blood test typically covered by insurance. For most men, screening should begin at age 50. If you're a Black man or have a family history, such as a father or a brother that has had prostate cancer, screening should begin at the age of 45. However, if you're a Black man with a family history, you should consider starting screening at the age of 40. Black men are about 80% more likely to develop prostate cancer and twice as likely to die from it, largely because it's often detected too late after it has spread. Early detection is critical. Prostate cancer often has no symptoms until it's advanced. I had no symptoms for mine, and thankfully they caught it before it spread. Second up, colorectal cancer screening. Colorectal cancer is affecting younger and younger people. Early detection saves lives. There is approximately one diagnosis every 25 minutes in people under 50. It is now the leading cause of cancer death for men under 50 and one of the leading causes overall in that age group. Among the top 5 cancer-related deaths, it's the only one increasing in younger adults. Men are more likely to be diagnosed at a younger age and more likely to die from it. Approximately 75% of patients under 50 are diagnosed with advanced stage cancer. That's either stage 3 or stage 4. Think of celebrities like Chadwick Boseman and James Vanderbeek, both under 50 when diagnosed and when they died. Screening reduces mortality by up to 60%. Colon cancer is one of the most preventable cancers, but only if you get screened. Lastly, get your testosterone levels checked. As the experts in this space say, there is no single better indicator of a man's overall health than his testosterone levels. Make sure the test includes your total testosterone, your free and bioavailable testosterone, because at the end of the day, that is more important than your total number. Also includes your SHBG levels, your LH levels, your FSH levels, and your estradiol levels. Gentlemen, take your health seriously. No one is coming to save us. We have to show up for ourselves and for each other because we are our brother's keeper. And remember, iron sharpens iron.